We're heading first to the Polo Grounds, the original Polo Grounds, lowercase Polo Grounds. It was built in like 1876, and there was a team called the New York Metropolitans, a baseball team, sort of a semi-professional team, and then the Giants, the New York Giants, were formed pretty much by the same ownership group. So they had two teams, the Metropolitans and the Giants, and they both played in this place. So this is the actual area where the original Polo Grounds would be. They were where these apartment buildings are that you see in front of you. And 2 blocks this way was a regular Polo Grounds with some stands, nothing fancy. This wasn't like giant bleacher areas or anything like that. It was just sort of stands, small stands where people could come and watch the game. After their original Polo Grounds was destroyed, the Giants had to move somewhere. So they kicked around, and then they finally ended up at what was really called Manhattan Field up here, which was built at the time for football and track and field. Yankees played here for a while until they became bigger than the Giants, and the Giants kicked them out, moved them to their own stadium across the river to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. But for a while, Babe Ruth was playing here, and he actually hit a home run, they say, over the wall into Manhattan Field, which again was adjacent to it. And then the Giants suddenly had a competitor across the river in the Yankees who were better than they were and who were drawing more fans than they were and who had a better stadium than they had. So they had to keep building on to these Polo Grounds, and they built on these giant bleachers, and they had a big porch, an overhanging porch. They built on these stands until they were just almost, their capacity still wasn't as big as Yankee Stadium across the way, but it was pretty big. Okay, so now we're heading to the last stop that we have in Manhattan, which is Hilltop Park. Okay, so this is the site behind me of the old Hilltop Park. It is now Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. It extended down that way for about 2 blocks, and it's where the Yankees played and where the New York Giants played briefly for about 3 months in 1911. And it was a very short-lived park, you know, because the Yankees wanted to get out of there too. It was a small place. It really couldn't sustain a major league team for very long, and that's why the Yankees moved across the river to the Bronx, where Babe Ruth was able to hit some real home runs. But this was, for a while, the home of both the Giants and the Yankees.